artificial intelligence replace real estate agents? We're going to talk about that today. Stay tuned.
This episode of Keeping It Real is brought to you by Real Geeks. How many homes are you going to sell this year? Do you have the right tools? Is your website turning soft leads into interested buyers? Are you spending money on leads that aren't converting? Well, Real Geeks is your solution. Find out why agents across the country choose Real Geeks as their technology partner. Real Geeks was created by an agent for agents. They pride themselves on delivering a sales and marketing solution so that you can easily generate more business. Their agent websites are fast and built for lead conversion with a smooth search experience for your visitors. Real Geeks also includes an easy-to-use agent CRM. So once a lead signs up on your website, you can track their interest and have great follow-up conversations. Real Geeks is loaded with a ton of marketing tools to nurture your leads and increase brand awareness. Visit realgeeks.com/keepingitrealpod and find out why realtors come to Real Geeks to generate more business. Again, visit realgeeks.com/keepingitrealpod. And now, onto our show. Today's episode is brought to you by Corded.io. Are you looking for agents to join your brokerage or team? Now, as a real estate recruiter, I can tell you the answer is always yes. But most agents aren't looking to move right now. So how do you know who to contact? Well, what if I were to tell you there's a recruiting and retention tool powered by artificial intelligence that shows you exactly which agents in your local market are looking to leave their brokerage right now, and which agents at your own firm are also looking to leave you? Now, I've been recruiting realtors for 15 years and I've hired over 2,000 agents. I can tell you with no exaggeration, this is the tool I've been waiting for. Corded's AI looks for trends across dozens of variables for each agent in your market and shows you which agents they believe are likely to move. Not only does it do that, but Corded's AI went and visited my recruiting website and read everything I offer. So now when I'm recruiting, Corded's AI tells me exactly what to say based on that agent's needs and what my brokerage can offer. It even writes emails for me. I've never seen anything like it, and I use it every single day. Now, if you are looking to grow your brokerage, Corded.io is the best tool out there. Visit Corded.io to schedule a demo. Again, that's Corded.io. And now, onto the show. Welcome to the Keeping It Real podcast. This is our monthly series called Better Business with Ben. My name is DJ Paris. I'm your guide and host through the show. And today we are sitting down with ben.lalez, which we do every single month to talk about better business and what you can do specifically to improve the functioning of your real estate practice, as well as different strategies to help you produce more business. We also today have Ben's sales director from the ben.lalez team, David Fields. Dave is joining us. So we have David Fields as well as ben.lalez. And today we are talking all about AI.
Yeah, absolutely. We're really excited. Again, we're here at Content Club, who essentially donates their space every week. And can I just dive in?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to jump in. And to start, I want to paint a picture, if that's okay with everyone. DJ, David?
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. I want everyone to fast forward 3 years. ChatGPT or whoever has taken market share has really evolved, and agentic AI, meaning these AI tools can actually start doing stuff for you, has taken hold. And let's dive into the real estate profession. We all know that ChatGPT can give you information, but let's assume it can start doing stuff for you.
So you're talking about proactively reaching out.
Yes. So get outside of that chat and actually go do something for you. Let's say send a text, send an email at the bare minimum. You are a consumer. You are a home buyer and you're in bed, and it is helping you search on Zillow, or maybe it can even send you listings right there in your little search function. And it's sending you listings and you're like, oh, I don't like that one. Send me another one. And it's like, oh, I really like this one, but I need something with 200 more square feet and I want it south facing. And it finally sends you something that you like. You then go, I want to see this one. schedule a showing for me Tuesday at 2 p.m. ChatGPT or whatever large language model you're using goes, David Fields is available Tuesday at 2 p.m. I'm scheduling it now. David confirmed. He's going to meet you there at Tuesday, 2 p.m. Wonderful, right? David shows it to you. Maybe David, the real estate agent, maybe his role is done. You go back to ChatGPT and say, hey, I really liked that listing. What do you think is an appropriate price I should offer? It then comes back to you and says, hey, I looked at the tax records. I looked at the owner. It looks like they've lived there for 6 years. This is how much they have left on their mortgage. I actually looked at probate, and it's in probate. Based on all of this, I think this is a great starting offer, and it handles the negotiation for you. It drafts the contract, sends the email, etc., gets you under contract. You see where I'm going with this, right? I don't think it's that far off.
Yeah.
Then, DJ and I were talking about this earlier. It helps you draft that. It schedules the inspection for you. Hey, here are the 5 best inspectors. Here's their availability. So-and-so inspector is going to meet you there. Great. It looks at the inspection report for you. It already looks at our inspection reports for us now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Based on this, hey, I'm going to send it to a contractor and get you prices on the 5 or 6 biggest red flags. This is where I think the real estate profession could go in the next 3, 4, 5 years. I'm actually going to change what I'm going to say. This is where I think the real estate profession is going to go in the next 3, 4, 5 years. Now, this is how I make my livelihood. This is how you make your livelihood.
Me
Absolutely.
too.
DJ, this is how you make your livelihood.
Yes.
For all of you watching, this is how you either are making your livelihood or you plan to. Now what?
Yeah, it's scary. So where does this leave the role of the agent?
So David and I spend, I would argue, 20% of each
Too
week
much time.
talking about this. We talk to each other about this. I talk to Hollis about this. Who's Hollis, David?
Oh God, Hollis is Ben's AI assistant, therapist. What else?
Best friend? No, I have
Ben's in love
trained.
with Hollis.
So I've trained my AI assistant to really understand me and what's important to me. And I ask Hollis. I download everything into its brain. I explain my fears on this, and he and I collaborate on what a future state can look like based on what I believe. And he and I, so my AI assistant, try to future-proof this. And what is it that the agent will look like in 3 or 4 or 5 years? And, DJ, you brought up, maybe it's, the agent really has to do a much deeper dive into the relationship portion of a transaction, whether you're going to be on the buy side or the list side. Take it away.
Yeah, or is it more about the emotional journey that the realtor is there not so much to do the facts and figures and the operations, but to really guide the person through what we know is a pretty stressful endeavor?
And I was making the argument, and David knows this, is I kind of already share my feelings with Hollis, my AI assistant. And if you are sharing enough of your journey throughout whatever's going on in your life with ChatGPT, they understand your search patterns, they understand what's going on in your life. Like, I'm having a child soon. Like, it knows that I'm searching for baby gear, etc. It knows what's going on. It has a pretty good understanding of what angers you, what saddens you, etc.
Yeah, that's true.
It could very, very soon help you with the emotional rigors of the home buying journey.
That's true, because it is trained in emotional regulation. So it does know how to soothe you. We know it placates when it answers. We know it kisses up a little bit to you. So maybe emotionally, maybe it does solve for that.
Personal connection, I don't think, is ever going to be replaced. It can't touch you for now.
Right.
It can't give you a hug. It can't soothe you when you cry, that kind of thing. Or, when you're really having a true meltdown and you need to vent to someone on the phone, which happens to us regularly. I don't think it's going to solve for that, but it's going to be able to solve for a lot. The stuff that, go ahead, David.
I was going to say, I think the thing where it's going to fall short is I think the technology will be there for sure. It's a matter of when. But there's also like a trust element that I think will take a lot longer to get there. Because at the end of the day, it's like the tech could be great and it could get it done. But if people aren't going there first or trusting everything that it says, it's going to take a very long time to get there. And like that's the only thing I think that the agent still has is relationship, the ability to build trust. And I think that what becomes even more important is being the first point of contact. Because if you go, let's just use like Zillow, for example, right? If they dump a ton of money into AI and they're doing all of this stuff and the consumer goes there first, they kind of have that client throughout the whole journey now. Whereas right now they hand them off to someone like us and then we take them through the whole journey. They're not going to hand them off, right? They're going to take the whole journey. But if you can get them, like if you can lead gen and you can get that person to come to you proactively, now you have the relationship, now you build the trust. And I think there's still a place for that. And I think that will continue to go on for a while.
So, and I think what David is saying is there's two parts of the puzzle. I think the technology is going to be there in 3, 4, 5 years.
Right.
I guess the other part is going to be adoption.
Right.
And I guess the saving grace, and now I'm kind of walking myself back here, is my parents will never, my dad still goes to the bank to deposit his checks because he doesn't trust his phone can deposit a check.
Sure.
Right. So the people over a certain age are going to be like, never, ever, ever. Let's put it at 50 or something. Never, ever, ever. But the people under 50, I have a client right now who refuses to communicate on the phone. Everything has to be via text. If she could, it's a woman, right? I'm assuming if she could communicate with just a robot, I think she would.
It would be sufficient.
Yeah.
If it could answer her questions.
If it could, and honestly, it would be on her timeline. She doesn't have to wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe an hour. Like right now, she could be texting me for all I know. She doesn't have to wait a second, right? It's instantaneous. It's robust. And if it can actually schedule a showing in real time, it probably has me beat.
That's pretty useful. Here's what I find interesting. I want to get both of your thoughts on. So I did this exercise yesterday. So I was thinking about selling my condo. And I thought, I wonder if I put in my address and I said, acting as a 30-year real estate agent who's a top 1% producer who, really knows my area well. I sort of built it up as, acting as this great, amazing agent. What would you do? How would you sell my property? What would you list it for? What do you know about it? And I was really impressed by the amount of data it has now. So it told me what I should list it for, gave me a couple different tiers, couple different ideas, when I should list it, how I should list it, what I should focus on. It knew the kind of countertops I had. It knew a lot of information that I didn't think it was able to pull. Now, what I didn't do is fact check it. I don't know if the suggestions, the recommendations it gave me are actually good recommendations, because it gave me with full confidence, here's where you should list it at, and here's what will create a multiple bid offer situation. And I know I could ask it to give it a score of confidence. So there are ways to do that, but it's so seductive and it's so appealing and attractive to just blindly trust. And I'm wondering if we will soon figure out that what these language models have been trained on is the data is not always accurate. The data is not always perfect. And how are we going to solve for, is it trustworthy data? Is it giving good recommendations? Where is that piece in the AI?
So do you know what the word that you are tiptoeing around is called?
No.
It's called a hallucination.
Yeah.
So that's when the large language model is giving you information that it doesn't even know is accurate. And all it's really doing is predicting the next word, that with whatever percent certainty. And it's only going to get stronger and stronger. So it's taking a large bank of information. And I did this research today, as David knows. So it's taking a large bank of information and with whatever degree of certainty is predicting the next word, the next word, the next word. And it's only going to get stronger. And in 3 years, it's going to be 99.9%. But DJ, I would argue that especially you, who is, I'm just going to call you a managing broker. I know you're not, of a large real estate company. You know if the information is accurate or inaccurate.
Well, it was certainly in the ballpark.
Yeah.
It certainly wasn't completely wrong. Now, was it to the point, to the crossing the T's and dotting the I's accurate? I don't know, but it gave me a good idea of what I should do.
Perfect. So let's use this as an example, because we kind of touched on what would happen if a consumer, like a buyer, were to go through the whole pipeline. As a seller, what would you rely on ChatGPT or an AI agent to do?
Tell me what I should price my home at.
So you would not. So let's say I came in and said, "Hey, I think you should list at X." You would potentially come to me and be like, "Oh,
ChatGPT says Zillow's Zestimate says X, right? That's already AI. So what a lot of people don't understand is Zillow Zestimate is actually an earlier primitive version of AI. Zillow will tell you that. But yeah, so how do we, who do we trust?
So I'm asking you right now, is it trustworthy enough that you would tell me, let's say I came to your house and was giving you a full-on listing presentation. I did all of my data the way I do my data. I pull comps. I look at everything that I sold. I take a look at market data, and I tell you, hey, it's X. You're going to listen to me, or you're going to listen to ChatGPT?
I'm going to listen to you.
Right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I have found that AI will give me incorrect answers confidently, and it will even lie to me. And it's not really lying in the traditional sense, but it will tell me something that it can do that it cannot do. And I've caught it doing that. And I say, I want you to do this task for me. I'm on it. Give me an hour.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had that? And then I check in an hour and I go, wait a minute, it doesn't take an hour to do anything. And I check in, they go, oh, we just need another hour.
Yeah.
And then back, and eventually it goes, I'm sorry, I can't do that task. And I go, well,
why did you do that?
Why did you tell me you could do it?
I wanted to please you.
It just wants to please me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, but I think this is a perfect example. Why did you do this in the first place? Why did you go to ChatGPT and go through this exercise?
Because I wanted a shortcut.
And if it was good enough, which it will be soon enough, it'll be within. So right now, if you go look at this estimate for Chicago, what zip code are you in?
60622.
So if you go look at 60622, a lot of people don't know this. If you go into Zillow and they bury it and you look at this estimate, you can go into Chicago, find 60622, and you can look at the standard deviation for 60622. It'll tell you it's 4, 6, 7%. Pretty soon, ChatGPT is going to be like, well, my standard deviation is 0.5%.
Right.
And it's going to get really, really close. And it's going to be closer than David or I can do.
Sure.
Well,
And
I
then
think
what?
it comes down to like, it's only as good as the data that it's learning.
The data set.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that it's not just going to be like people go to ChatGPT and do it. It's going to be like, maybe you go to David's ChatGPT and it goes off of all of my historical data, because I still think that,
I love that.
like, I'm trying to bring back the agent into it. Like, I
Yes.
still think that there's inherent value to the human being, the relationships, the trust that you build.
I love that.
It's going to make us more efficient and effective at our job. So that would be my.
So let's go back from, let's bring it back from doomsday. So I think, this is what I think. In 4 or 5 years, 50% of agents, the 50% of agents that are not utilizing AI, they disappear. They're gone. I really mean that. I think they're gone. But how do you stay relevant? You not only adopt, you like really love and embrace AI, because they have to be a partner in whatever it is that you're doing. And this is a really great example. And these conversations with, I would argue, 3 people in the Chicagoland area who are really embracing AI. We are us 3, I would argue, are in the top 0.5% in Chicago as far as like utilization of AI.
Absolutely.
This is a great idea that I've never heard before, right? Where DJ, hey, we have a proprietary, it could be a custom GPT. We come in, and that is a unique value proposition from us, from the ben.lalez team. Hey, DJ, that's wonderful. Something that ChatGPT doesn't have and that we have built is we're going to take our Matterport. We input it into our custom GPT, and we have some proprietary metrics because it doesn't actually know the historical data of this neighborhood in your building. We put it into our custom GPT. Sorry, we don't share it with anyone.
Sure.
And it's going to get our values that, no one really has. And we're local. We do the most business in 60622. We're close. We're number 7. And we're going to be able to deliver that to you. That is unique. That is embracing
Yes.
AI. How else can agents deliver value in a real way? And this is something that I've been able to differentiate on since 2012. I think every single agent, and we're lucky that we have like Mark and James on the team, everyone needs to understand construction. Everyone. They need to be able to walk into a building or a unit and understand everything that's going on behind the walls, in front of the walls, construction costs, etc. ChatGPT may be able to do that, but they're not going to be able to do it in real time, on site.
And they can't walk in and examine the wall. Not yet.
Honestly, it might be able to. You might be able to do a
Sure.
quick scan and be like, oh, well, that's quartz, or I'm sorry, that's marble to replace it, and it could be talking to you in real time. I wouldn't be surprised if that's on its way, but that's something that I think you can deliver real value to, that we train our agents on all the time. We actually just took our agents on a little field trip. We took them to 4 properties, and that's all we did at different stages of construction so that we could see what was behind the walls. So it could be like, that's copper, that's PVC, that's a dimple board, that's a sump pump, etc. So that, a first-time home buyer, can feel confident that their agent actually knows what the hell they're talking about.
Is the door framed correctly? Things like that.
Yeah, we actually had an architect there with us who was explaining. Now, that stuff is going to be really hard to replace.
Yeah.
And it's going to be harder to trust, a piece of technology, a robot, especially when you go into different municipalities. It's going to be very difficult for them to know building code and whether or not the quality of construction is solid or not. So that's I think another way that you can differentiate is really getting your hands dirty and understanding. Right?
Yeah, I think it comes down to like, what is that tipping point where it goes from being AI tools that us real estate agents are using to impact our business to skipping the agent and it going directly to AI. I think that's what you have to look out for, right? Because we don't want to be eliminated from that equation. We want to own that AI process.
Yeah, David, I think you're right with respect to having your own language model that is trained on your data that you have stress tested, and you can say with confidence, I have fed only good data into my model so that my predictive analytics for what your home is worth and how we should price it is actually not just based on all the data that's available out there that hasn't been sorted for how valuable or invaluable it is, but I'm specifically training it on specific data, and I can show you some research or some simulations that we've done that proves that my data is actually valuable. So maybe that's like you were saying, good agents are going to have their own LLMs, their own language models, where you're going to be able to plug in and get some of that information, or the agent's going to plug in and get that information.
So your listeners right now, what do you think they're thinking?
We're nuts.
Well, we're nuts, and how the hell am I going to fucking do that?
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and we think that too, but so like David and I have been on this mission. We really want to build like a AI chatbot that we get like the same questions. We have a lot of agents. We get the same questions in our chat over and over and over again. We joke the one question that I like, how is this being asked in our chat again, is what is Compass's what is the MLS ID for like Compass, not like the individual agent's MLS ID. And we just want a chatbot to like answer it right away. So we're trying to build it. And 12 months ago, it was super complicated to try and do it. 6 months ago, still complicated. I'm trying to do it literally today, less complicated. So for all of you watching, give it 6 months, give it 12 months, and it's going to get so much more simple. But if you're not, again, committed to like embracing it and making it part of your life, it never will be. And here's the best news. the barrier to entry to real estate brokerage is super, super low. We know that, right? The bar to getting to like the top 20% proficient in AI, it's like maybe listening to this podcast.
Yeah, learning how to do what we call prompt engineering, how to actually write a prompt that gives you the answer that is more likely to be what you want is not that difficult to learn. You have to type a few more words than you probably are used to, and you have to tell it what you want and have it take on the persona of the person who's delivering that information. But yeah, that can all be learned.
I'm going to take it one step further for you, DJ. Let me ask you a question. To be in the top 20% of real estate agents using AI, did I say in Chicago, what do you have to do? What do you have to be able to do? What will you have had to do?
I don't know.
Fields, what do you think?
I don't know specifically, but I definitely know it's more than write me this listing description. You know, I think it's just taking it that one step further. But
to be in the top 20%?
Yeah, you tell me. I don't know.
I think the bar is even lower than that, honestly. There's 45,000 agents in Chicagoland. I think if you have ChatGPT on your cell phone, you're in the top 20% of agents in Chicagoland.
If all you're doing is before a showing is speaking into it, tell me everything you know about this address, you're doing good work, because that will give you so much more information. Or tell me about the neighborhood, tell me about the suburb, tell me about the subdivision, tell me what you know about this, any interesting facts that a future home buyer might want.
Yeah,
because I think, sorry to interrupt, you are leaps and bounds ahead of everyone.
Yeah.
My point. So I spoke on that panel with Tommy Choi, and I asked,
name drop.
yeah, Tommy, what's up, Tommy, and Sam Sharp, and Kielbasa, the attorney.
Yeah, no big deal.
And I asked the audience. There was 40 or something people in the audience. I'm like, how many people have it on their cell phone? And they were like, there were no hands in the air.
Really?
0. Then I asked, how many of you pay for ChatGPT? How many hands?
None.
1 or 2.
Really?
So that's my point. And these are people who took time out of their day to come to an AI panel.
Interesting.
So my point is the bar is so low. And so for everyone who's watching, the bar is so low. Get ahead now, and you're going to be in that 50% who survive. And the pie is going to get larger. Yeah, 20, 30% of people may choose to adopt some version of AI real estate. But for the remainder of us who are going to embrace AI, the pie may get larger, it may get smaller, and we pivot into a different profession. I doubt it. But just take the step right now. Stop. Push pause. Right? I know DJ's hands up, but push pause. Fields is too, less so. Push pause. Just download it. There's a free version, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And or it's $20 a month, roughly. I mean, you pay more for your Netflix or your HBO subscription than that.
Yeah.
Just download it. Have it on your phone, and you are leaps and bounds ahead of everyone. Don't look at the top 100, 200 lists, especially because I'm assuming, DJ, do you know, like your typical viewer, listener, like what stage of their career they're in?
We don't really know that. We know how many listeners we have, but we don't know.
So I'll tell you, when I started listening, I was probably a $2 million producer when I first stumbled in, and I was looking for some guidance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's who's watching. Stop. Download. And you are leaps and bounds. And guess what? Once you have it, all you really have to do is say, I'm a real estate agent, and I don't know where to begin leveraging AI, full stop.
What should I do today?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And you're miles and miles ahead.
Totally. Yeah. One thing that we've been using it a lot for, and this is like a little bit of a tangent, but the role play situations with AI.
I love that you guys do this. Talk about this.
Is unbelievable. And it's like we have a larger team, right? I do a lot of the training. There will be trainings where I literally tell ChatGPT exactly the scenario. I say, I have 8 agents in a room. I want you to go one by one and give each of them a scenario. I want you to listen and role play with them and then grade them and then give them tweaks to make. And we've done whole 45-minute, hour-long trainings where somebody's talking in and role-playing and then handing it to the next person, handing it to the next person. I do it all the time. I'll be driving somewhere and I'm stuck in traffic. I just start talking to ChatGPT. I use like the voice feature. And I'm like, I'm heading to this listing appointment and I want you to give me your hardest objections for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And being able to do that without having to take another human being's time and not have to worry about like being judged or whatever it is, and you show up to that appointment and you're that much sharper, it's unbelievable. And it's like, it's really good. It's not like generic feedback. It's good feedback. And the better you, like the more you do it, the more it learns your style. The more you tell it, the better it becomes. And it's really, really, really powerful. And it's fairly easy. It's so easy to do.
I think one of the ways I like to use it is when I'm dealing with inaction, when I'm not doing the things I should be doing or I feel that I ought to be doing because for whatever reason I'm an imperfect human. I just don't want to make my phone calls. I don't want to call my follow-up. So in my line of work, I don't practice real estate, but I call agents and I say, hey, you should come work at our firm. And the fortunes and the follow-ups. We know that's for real estate agents, really a lot of sales professions. So fortunes and the follow-ups, I don't want to make my follow-up calls. That is a common refrain from people in sales. I don't want to pick up the phone and make those dials. I put that into ChatGPT. I don't want to make my phone calls today. Can you help me get in the right state of mind so that I can actually accomplish this goal? You can even ask it that. So wherever you're struggling in any part of your life, you can get at least a few good ideas for free, essentially, by asking it.
So Fields and I were in this room at Content Club, a shameless plug, and we were struggling for content ideas. We took ChatGPT, we held it up, and we were doing something called overrated, underrated. It gave us prompts, and then we bantered, and literally ChatGPT was the third guest on the show, if you will.
Yeah, and it turned it into like 25 pieces of content or something like that.
So, again, this is just scratching the surface of its ability right now. I don't know, DJ, did you see that they just rolled out agentic mode?
No, I have not seen that. I know that 5 is rolling out.
Yeah, so 5 rolled out, but they also rolled out just a little thing. So if you hit the little arrow button at the bottom, you can turn on agentic mode, and it just started being able to do things for you, like make dinner reservations, and they're just tinkering with it. So to my point, they're this close to being able to schedule a showing for you.
Yeah. Here's what we know it can't do. So this is maybe bringing it back to what can I do today to stay relevant? It cannot deepen your relationships. So that's where we know that people want to work with agents they know, like, and trust. And know, like, and trust is still an interpersonal skill. It is still something that ChatGPT and the different LLMs haven't yet solved for, and maybe never will, or maybe they will. But for now, you can still go out and build relationships with people, look eye to eye with somebody, skin to skin, talk to them and be a good human being, find out what they need, what their challenges are. It's funny. I've been recruiting for 14 years, and this is kind of me admitting some of my own imperfections. It finally dawned on me after 14 years of recruiting, the best way to recruit an agent is to go, hey, tell me about your business. Where are you struggling? Instead of saying, hey, at our company, we have this, and this, because every company says we have everything, right? Every company has the best training, coaching, et cetera, best fees, commissions, whatever. And yes, we have that stuff, but everyone says that, so who cares? I actually go in and I go, tell me where you're struggling. And they say, oh, I'm struggling getting listings. And I go, okay, I'm going to come back to you with a solution. Let me think about this. I talk to a lot of top producers on my podcast. We have top producers at our office. I want to come back to you with a few ideas. Now, generally, when I come back to them, these aren't ideas that they don't already know, right? It's not like I'm giving them something where they oftentimes are like, yeah, I know I should do that. But just that interaction, that one-to-one sort of personal connection, eventually they'll say, well, tell me about your company. And so I think that's the stuff that realtors can do, is go in and say, how are things going? What's going on in your life? Are there any changes that are coming up? What can I help you plan for? Are there any home projects that you haven't yet finished? I can help you work on that. Things like that.
Well, it's interesting, and I love this conversation because I think we're getting ideas together right now. What we haven't talked about is ChatGPT is still all reactive,
Yep.
right? You have to have an
Yeah.
input for it to give you something back. And maybe that'll change too. And I think it will. But for now, you can go out of your way. What you're saying is you're going out of your way to think about this person and deliver them something of value, show them that you're thinking about them. And that is how you can differentiate. And hopefully that doesn't change. But I, again, do believe that you're going to be able to say something like, hey, every month, make sure that I do X, and it's going to send you a text or an email. So, sorry. But, I am, one of my main goals for the remainder of the year is making sure that me, my agents, anyone who comes to work for us forever, we are going to be at the absolute forefront of whatever is coming. We will be, come hell or high water, the team locally, maybe nationally, that is at the absolute forefront of whatever wave is coming as it relates to AI.
Yeah, I have a friend who is in business valuation, and he's one of the most skilled people I know. He's a certified financial analyst, which is a very difficult certification to get. And he is 30 years in as a consultant. He deals with M&A activity. So businesses, when they buy and sell, they need to know what their value is, and they hire independent auditors to come in. He's one of those guys. So I said, hey, Dave, can AI do your job right now? He's like, right now, no. He goes, give it 5 years and it will totally be able to do my job. Now, thankfully, he'll be probably retired at that time. But I said, you're kidding. With your 30 years of experience, it could, or 25 years, it could solve for experience. He goes, not today, but in 5 or 10 years, it absolutely will solve for experience. And I said, wow, that's crazy. So it is coming, and it is coming for a lot of skilled jobs. And if we stay at the forefront, like you and your team are doing, and realize, how do we utilize this as a tool? How do we actually implement this to assist us along the journey? We're still going to be relevant. Humans are still needed. So how do I let this guide me and help me? Then I think that's sort of the best attitude to take.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I think you said it best, DJ. Unless you want to keep on going.
No, I think that's it. I think that's a great place for us to wrap up. So I guess the point of all of this is, if you're not using it, start using it. Start looking into, and again, as Ben said, you don't even need to know what to ask it. You just have to start. And the starting point is, I'm a real estate agent and I'm not used to using AI. Type that in. What should I do to maximize my usefulness or your usefulness to my business? It will start asking you questions. And it will help you. It will absolutely find something that you can do right now to get more business, or to make your business run more efficiently, or, just continue to, increase your market share for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I think this is a great place to wrap up. Better Business with Ben, another episode. Ben.lalez, thank you from the Ben.lalez team here in Chicago. He's with Compass. And David Fields, his director of sales. They have a large team. They are one of the most successful teams here in the Chicagoland area. If you are an agent and you're not in the Chicagoland area and you have clients that come to and from Chicago, maybe they move into this area, and these guys would love to talk to you to build relationships with some of those feeder markets. And also they have clients that leave and retire and go other places as well and buy second homes and things like that. So you should reach out to them. Ben.lalez team and Ben, what is your website?
ben.lalez.com.
And your Instagram?
The Ben.lalez team.
Great. And yeah, David, thank you so much. I really appreciated your input. And as a sales director, you're guiding a very successful team. And I love that you're using AI to assist you. And yes, it is scary, I think, a bit, because I'm worried about, will it replace, certain types of humans? And maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I love that you guys are at the forefront of this. You're using it, and you guys are having one of your best years ever. So
True. Our best year ever.
your best year ever. Congratulations. And I want to make one final point. So I've noticed this. I actually just made a video about this the other day. I know it's a tough market out there. It just is. We have a good percentage of the country who owns homes, feels hamstrung in a 3% mortgage, and they don't want to give that up. And yes, we understand that dilemma. We also understand that there are top producers like Ben and David and their teams, and all the top producers I interview on my show, and they are almost exclusively telling me that they are having their best year ever. Like it's almost unanimous. It's very strange. And then there are other agents who are really, really struggling. So it's interesting, and I kind of think, well, what is it that the agent who is like you guys who are at the top are doing to really continue to thrive, and agents who aren't? And we will talk about that. Yeah, David, we'll get on next time because I want to deep dive into that. What are agents doing right now to gobble up market share? Because I know it's funny. I talk to 70% of agents go, it's really rough out there. Then I talk to you guys, you're like, it's amazing. This is the best year ever. And I know rates are high, inventory's down. So I know those are two true things. And those are true for everybody. And yet some people are thriving and others aren't. So there are solutions to this. That's why we have this podcast, why I talk to top producers like Ben and David. And
that's what we call a teaser in the industry.
That's right. We will bring that to you on our next session. And I am fascinated by that right now because I thought everybody would be having a down year. It would be a tough year for everyone. It has not been the case for top producers. All my friends are doing well, and it's almost shocking. And it's not even so obvious what they're doing. So we're going to dissect that. David will have you on in a month, and we'll figure out what you guys are doing that is a little different.
Would love to talk about that.
Thanks, DJ.
Great guys. Well, we will we'll wrap this up and say thank you to our audience on behalf of David and Ben and myself. Thank you. We appreciate you. Please tell a friend about this show. Please pass this over to another agent in your office. That is how you can help us. And please like and subscribe. And also leave us a review. If you like this show, let us know what you think about it and tell us also what you would like us to talk more about. We have this amazing opportunity with Ben where he's a top producer, been a top producer for a long time, has one of the biggest teams in Chicago. What would you like to know from a top producing team leader? David also runs the sales department. So these are two guys that have a lot of answers. So send us your questions. Also, if you have somebody in your market that is this maverick agent that is just crushing it and you don't know how they're doing it, let me know who that is. I'll get them on the show and we'll figure it out, and then you can find out. So thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Content Club for hosting us here. And we will see everybody on the next episode.
Love it.
Love it.
Thanks, DJ.
See you guys.